Hey, my loves. Today on the episode, we are going to have a life update from me out on my rainy walk because I'm committed to walking and getting my steps in. And I'm going to share with you what I'm doing, my health practices, what I'm eating, what I'm focusing on, what I'm doing in the gym or not doing in the gym, and what I'm doing for being a woman in her late 40s. Perimenopausal, menopause coming up. What am I doing? And I want to share all the nitty gritties with you, all of you, and let's get this party started.
Welcome to the Danette May Show, where you'll receive profound breakthroughs, courage to break old patterns, and live into your soul's purpose. Each week, I will bring you epic guests and live coaching to remind you of your power. You have the ability to achieve extraordinary things, and the time to start is now. Hey, love, if you've been dreaming of better health, you want more energy, and finally feeling amazing in your own skin, I want to share something with you. I have a free meditation designed to guide you towards your health goals and create lasting change without feeling overwhelmed. I have to tell you that most change happens in the subconscious, which governs the actions or the non actions you take. So, these meditations, which are guided, will help you build a mindset that supports your health journey, helping you feel vibrant and empowered every step of the way. And I'm going to give it to you absolutely free. All you need to do is click the link in the show notes right now.
Hi, everybody. I am walking out on my road because it is storming. You might hear the rumbling in the background. It's drizzling some rain, but I am committed to getting my steps in. And I don't know if the rain is going to let up. And on this walk, I just passed a huge buck deer and now elk on the road. So I'm sandwiched between them. They're not even afraid of me. This is my reality up here in the mountains of Colorado. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I feel really good in nature. I've had a lot of people write in and ask, do I feel safe? We just had a bear outside our bedroom window, big black bear. And, he went on his merry way. And people ask all the time, like, do you feel safe up there hiking and walking around? I actually do. I feel and sense in my body that most animals are more afraid of us than we are afraid of them. And they actually sense our energies actually more than most humans do. And I trust them more. If I have my frequency tuned in right, and, of course, if I'm going to be hiking and I know there's mountain lions, I might take a gun or I might take some pepper spray, but I usually don't feel as afraid of animals like I do a man in some garage. If I park in some quiet garage somewhere, or if I'm alone on a street, those places scare me more. Humans scare me more than animals. I'm just going to keep it real. So, all of you who live in a city, how do you do it? All of you who drive or work late night shifts or jobs, how do you handle your safety? That would be my question to you if you're listening to this. But today I want to kind of share a life update, just be candid with you as if we're girlfriends out here walking, because most of you listening to this are perimenopausal or menopausal. And that's kind of a buzzword right now. And I think it's a buzzword because women are waking up. We're waking up in so many different ways to our strength and then to our resilience, and also to the many, many times we've kept ourselves quiet. We have said yes when we wanted to say no. We have been the good girl and we went against our intuition because we wanted to have people like us. And I think right now we're just saying no more to this. And I believe that perimenopause and menopause is that offering. It's the offering of the wise woman. And she's coming into her own, and her hormones are not going to let her do this behavior anymore. Bypass her inner knowing, bypass her truth, bypass her soul's calling. And if she does continue to bypass it, her hormones are going to scream. They are going to rage in hot flashes. They are going to create dysregulation. They are going to shrink up in sexual situations. We hear a lot of women say, I just feel dysregulated. I feel moody. I feel like hormonal. I feel hot flashes. I feel like I can't sleep. My head is ruminating. I'm forgetting things. They might say that my libido is lower. I don't feel like I want to have sex. And I believe, yes, this is a factor of hormones changing, but I also believe the hormones are changing because you are waking up. And this is a beautiful, beautiful time to take inventory of the way your mother and her mother was at this age and how you can break these chains and also reclaim the little girl inside of you that wants what she wants, and to communicate this with your partner and just let him know, yeah, I'm going through a change and it is uncomfortable because now I'm saying no. And now I'm sticking up for myself. And now I'm saying the things that I never said before. And now I'm frustrated with these patterns. And now I'm feeling these patterns. I'm frustrated with these friends. I'm frustrated with this lifestyle. And I want to change it. And I think this is a really powerful time and a beautiful time. So hopefully you have support. Hopefully you can communicate these desires openly and get the support you need. But I want to just say you're not alone in this. And I also want to offer up some advice. But I haven't actually, so I'm going to be really real. I haven't really felt these effects. And I think the reason is because for years it's been my career to really start looking at what does Danette want and to speak into what Danette wants. To heal old traumas from when she was a little girl, when she was a teenager, when she had to be the good girl, when she said yes, when she wanted to say no, when she was over people pleasing, when she was choosing what her parents wanted over what she really wanted. And, I think that I've just been in this industry of healing that I have kind of stepped into this realm of perimenopause really pretty steady. I went and got my blood work done maybe a year ago. It was after my hysterectomy. So, you guys, I will never know when I'm really in menopause because they took out my uterus. I still have my ovaries, so I still have all the hormones, but I will not know when my period ends because I don't have a period anymore. So now I'm just really tuning into how do I feel? What are my hormones saying? I don't have an indicator of a blood source. So I'm feeling into that. But I went and did my blood work panels just to get an idea. Where are my testosterone levels? Where are my progesterone levels? Where are my estrogen levels? Where are my B levels? Your B levels, like that's what gives energy. Where are your iron levels? That also affects energy. Where are, your stress indicators? All of these different things they can test through a blood work, really comprehensive blood work. And I also went to not just a traditional doctor, because this is what happens when you do hormones testing with traditional doctors. They literally might tell you you're going crazy and you need an antidepressant. Let me just tell you, you are not going crazy. Depression is a chance, if it's just a mild, low grade depression, is a chance for you to reevaluate where you're depressing or suppressing your emotions, suppressing your dreams, suppressing in your life, and go, wait a minute, this is what I actually want. These patterns I've been doing for years, I would like to shift them. And anyway, so I did blood work. And it's really hard. Everyone's going to have different levels of testosterone that they feel good at. Same with progesterone, estrogen, which are the main primary hormone indicators in females and males. And so she just said, you seem like your testosterone's a little low. But what I was receiving was that I wasn't recovering very quick in my workouts. I was noticing that I stayed sore longer than usual, which is a sign of low testosterone sometimes, and even potentially progesterone. I wasn't experiencing rage or brain fogginess or low libido. I wasn't experiencing those things. And I think it's because, one, again, I really don't want women bypassing their emotions. Let's just say you're like, oh my gosh, I just don't feel that sexual anymore. Yes, it could be a little bit related to hormones. Yes. And I always believe in the word and. Have you been having deep, intimate connection outside of sex with your partner? Do you feel safe in this relationship? Do you feel heard and seen in this relationship? If a woman doesn't feel heard or seen in her relationship and she's not getting filled up outside of the bedroom, it's going to be very hard for her to feel sexual in the bedroom because that means you're being fully exposed. You need to feel safe to have orgasms. And so it's a yes and. It's important to address, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel angry? Why do I feel non-sexual? And look at the emotions that could be tied to it and go to the source. Talk to your children, talk to your spouse. reevaluate the career choices, reevaluate the patterns and the everyday patterns that you have. And I'm doing this on an ongoing basis. Trust me, this is what I do all the time because just this week, for example, I have felt exhausted. Now, it's normal for me to feel tired every now and again, but to feel exhausted is not my normal energy point. I'm a fire sign, I'm a Sagittarius. I got energy for days. But since Monday, which I'm recording this on a Saturday, I have been every day exhausted. Doesn't matter if I take a nap, I'll go to bed at 8:30 at night, I'm still exhausted. And I know that it's, oh, not just my hormones. I'm looking at what's going on astrologically, what's going on with the solar flares. If anybody doesn't know what solar flares are, I was talking to my husband about them. These are actually scientifically studied. So they are basically the amount of radiation the sun's giving off, and they test this. They will have the documentation on this. Sorry, I'm not making a lot of sense when I'm talking about this, but anyway, the solar flares, they basically the Earth has a frequency, 7.83. It's a low hum. And we're all tuned into this frequency. But when it goes higher, it's like a higher pitch. It's like a screaming when there's extreme solar flares. And it is a spike in the body. It does affect our bodies, just like the moon affects our cycles and, all the star alignments, they do affect us, whether you want to believe it or not. But I was noticing this week that the Schumann resonance was going off the chart, like it was blacking out on the screen. And it usually is just kind of like subtle flares on the screen, and it was like going off. So I'm like, okay, maybe my body's just experiencing more. I think we can all admit there's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on that we're hearing about because we have these phones. We have access to knowing what's going on thousands of miles away from us. And they're atrocities. They like cut deep to any woman who has any heart and soul. You're like, how do I help thousands of miles away? Whatever's being fed to you through social media or the news, you're probably feeling helpless. You're probably feeling frustrated. And as a woman that's felt hopeless or frustrated in her teens or when she was younger in her home life, it's going to get amplified. And so, just looking at all the things that are going on in the world and having grace, I'm not going to place that something's wrong with me. I'm just going to say, yeah, I'm feeling this because there's a lot going on. And maybe I need to drink more water. Maybe I need to get out in nature, even if it's raining. Maybe I need to just get my feet on the earth a little bit more, have a little bit more alone time, do some more meditation, like really up my practices that ground me in this time and say, it's okay if I sleep a little bit more. That's okay. So I just want to give you permission that even though I feel like I'm eating really well and I'm moving my body and I'm doing what I feel is the right things to do for health, I still get exhausted and not just one day. I've been exhausted every day this week. So we also have company in town, which I'm a massive empath. So I can feel people's thoughts if they sleep in my home. So all friends who might be listening to this, I don't invite a lot of people to my home, especially to sleep over because I hear people's thoughts, and I don't want that to scare anyone. I don't want to scare that into my friends, but I don't want to know people's thoughts. But I can. I can do this, and it's they're especially up in the night. I'll feel them. So even sometimes we have a second office type space. If I have a friend there that's going through something, I can hear her thoughts. And then I don't sleep. And so I haven't been sleeping very well because I've been hearing people's thoughts. And man, okay, because I can hear people's thoughts, can I just offer something to everyone? Let's just pretend I'm listening to your thoughts as the listener here. We are really hard on ourselves. We really hold a lot of guilt and shame about our actions and our past. Can we please let it go? The greatest thing you can do if you've done things in your past that you're just not proud of as a mother to your child or as a friend to a friend, or you've had things happen to you in your past by someone else. Maybe someone else hurt you, maybe someone else abandoned you. Can you please let it go? It is not serving you to sit and think about the pain that was happened to you or the pain you've done to someone else. The greatest thing you can do is go, okay, thank you for the information. What can I do from here on out to change the behavior? Maybe you don't get into those types of relationships anymore. Thank you, universe, for this lesson of this crazy betrayal, narcissistic human in my life. Thank you for bringing them to me. Let me learn from it, learn the characteristics, learn when I need to say no, learn when I need to have boundaries, learn when I need to stand up for myself, and learn when I need to listen to my intuition when it gets the spidey senses that something's off. Move away from the situation so that you don't keep repeating it, but you don't need to keep ruminating about this bad behavior that happened to you in your past. Also, if you've done things as a mother in your past, we all have. We need to give ourselves grace. We did the best we could in the moment. We can say sorry to our child, like whatever, 10, 15, 20, 30 years later. We can say sorry. But the greatest thing we can do is not ruminate on the past, is to just change up and show up in a new behavior and say, this is who I am now, and be grateful for that. Give yourself grace, champion yourself that, because I can hear a lot of people's thoughts, and a lot of it's in I shoulda, woulda, I feel shame, I feel guilt, or I feel hurt about someone else, and it's just keeping you looped in the past when this future and the now is just waiting for you, and you're just creating the future and the now from your past thoughts. This is why you're continually getting the same outcomes, feeling the same way every single day. You get to decide to change that. So do it. And that's what I've been doing all week this week, is going, okay, I can hear other people's thoughts, what I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to learn to just be the fun mom that I can be. I've made mistakes in my past, but they need me here now, and I'm going to choose who I'm going to be now. I'm going to also look at where my mom was at my age, and I'm going to celebrate all the ways I'm a little bit different, or the things that, she probably wished she would have just stepped into that I have. I'm going to celebrate that. I'm going to also celebrate all the ways I've grown in the last 10, 20 years. And I'm going to look at that. I'm going to say, dang, Danette, I'm proud of you, instead of ruminating about all the things I haven't done. Okay. So this is an opportunity for all of us to do this work. But just giving you a little side note, this is kind of where I'm at right now. So now you probably want me to get into the nitty gritty of what I am doing on a health level. We have a lot of elk on this road. I don't know if you can hear them. They're just making a lot of noise. What I'm doing is walking. Like I said, right now I'm walking. I'm trying to walk. Steps are hard. I don't wear a watch. I don't monitor my steps. I don't wear a weighted vest. If you want to wear a weighted vest, go ahead. But I am definitely not going to be that trainer that says you have to have a weighted vest. Come on, most of us are overweight anyway, and that's our weighted vest. So just go walk, okay? You don't need all the fancy things. I'd say get some good shoes and go walk. And also, I don't track my steps, I track time. So I try to do a steady walk of an hour. Now, if you are really out of shape or haven't been doing that because you're recovering from a surgery, or it's just been a long, long time and you are just starting to get into this, I say start with 15 minutes of steady walking, then move it up to 30 minutes, then 45, up to an hour. I try to get a steady walk in an hour a day. And then when I'm, going to and from, I just try to think about walking and standing and not sitting all day. If I am sitting all day, let's just say I'm working a desk job or I'm traveling, I might walk twice in a day. So morning, afternoon, or evening, just so that I'm getting my steps in. This, I'm telling you, is a game changer. Do not believe anyone who says that you should only get 7,000 steps or don't go over 7,000 steps. The more, the better. So it's also a huge stress relief. And right now, stress relief, regulating the nervous system, is the name of the game for perimenopause and menopause. So I am walking, listening to something inspiring, talking to an uplifting friend, or listening to inspiring music, or just listening to nature, like really noticing all the sounds of nature. It is so good for the soul. So if you haven't started doing this, that's number one. And that's what I do every single day. I don't take a break from this. This is just what I do. Some days, for whatever reason, I don't get it, but that's really rare. The other thing I do, try to drink a gallon of water. If you've done any of my programs, 30-day new challenge, any of my programs, you will know that I'm a big proponent of water. It's like a bath for the insides. Just like I would tell you to take a shower or bath every single day, you got to drink a gallon of water to clear out your internal system. What I've been doing is I've been adding minerals to my water and electrolytes to my water every day. I have noticed a difference with that. So I'm going up the hill, everyone. So yeah, I'm adding minerals. I use Beam. I am not sponsored by them, but I use Beam minerals. You can find other minerals that you might like because most of us are depleted and you'll notice an energy increase just by putting minerals and electrolytes in your water. Do not do the electrolytes that have tons of salt or tons of sugars in them. Please do not do that. You are not an extreme athlete. You do not need that much salt, and you definitely don't need the sugar. There are a lot of electrolytes out there that are loaded with those things, and they are doing a disjustice to you, disservice to you. So please don't do that to yourself. So I do that. And everybody who's just maybe listening to this, I do want to say that if you want to go deeper on the deep subconscious things around menopause or perimenopause that you're feeling and feel relief right away, I'm doing a live class and it's coming up on the 19th at 4 p.m. Eastern. You get to save this hypnosis. I'm going to take you through a hypnosis to start finding relief right away. I'm going to also be talking about the things that I do even in more depth to really help with the hormones and feeling relief in the body, but then also the things that other people aren't talking about you claiming who you are and finding relief in just that, the emotional, the subconscious part of it. So I'm going to be doing a whole class on that. And it's August 19th at 4 p.m. Eastern. You just click the link in the show notes. Okay, I can't wait to see you guys there. It's totally amazing. All right, so the other thing I'm doing is I am having protein in every meal. So I don't have a snack unless there's protein in it. I don't have breakfast unless there's a protein in it. I don't have lunch unless there's a protein in it. So I am looking at protein stacking. It feels like a lot because it is a lot, but it is really makes a big difference. I feel fuller longer. So I've always taught this in my like 30-day new challenge. If you're a Fit Rise member or part of Lotus Rising, you're a part of the Fit Rise membership, which has all the meal plans. There's always been protein in everything that I've done before, but sometimes I would get lazy. Like I would have a snack without protein, or I would kind of skimp on the protein for breakfast or whatnot. I'm now super diligent to get more protein, and I've noticed I've leaned down because of it. I snack less. Well, I'm a big believer in snacking. It's just I'm eating more of a nutritious based snack versus like crackers or chips that really don't have much benefit. And that makes a huge difference. I didn't even realize that me just having like a handful of chips a couple times a day was actually increasing my inflammation in my body. And this has made a really big difference. So I am doing protein. And that also helps with regulating the hormones, by the way. So drinking water, reducing your stress by going for movement walks, like clearing out the cobwebs of your soul while you're moving your body. Also, strength training. So don't be afraid of the weights. That can really help build strength in your bones, really help with posture, and really help lean you down. So more muscle means an increased metabolism, which means leaner body. So I do lift weights 3 times a week. I'm not a huge heavy lifter. I'll lift 10 to 12 to 15-pound dumbbells. So I just don't think you need the 5 and 8s pound dumbbells. Do the 10, 15, 12, 15, 20. Some of you might be able to lug around to 20, but if I have 2 dumbbells in my hands, about 15 is about as high as I go. So I am doing that 3 times a week at a minimum, sometimes 4 times a week. I love to play pickleball, so I'll play pickleball, but I don't even count that as a form of exercise, to be real. I know other people might, but for me, my walking and my lifting are my forms of exercise. They are non-negotiables. Pickleball's for fun. Pickleball is like an added little fun, like running around with kids in the backyard, right? Like, I just don't want to add it up as my exercise. I know that other people would feel differently about it, but that's just how I look at it. And I feel like I look amazing. I look better now than I did probably 4 years ago, the last 4 years, because I got pretty inflamed for a while there, which is a really big proponent of perimenopause. So maybe that's also been a big help is I also take a little bit of testosterone and natural DHEA, and I also take some progesterone. So that probably is helping, but I noticed that I started seeing results when I ate really well. So when I did my 30-day new challenge, which I'll link that below because I would say start there always because it has the meditations, it has the workouts, and it has the meal plan that I would always start there because most people that do that 30-day new challenge, one, they're fertile. Two, they don't have the same symptoms that a lot of other people do because it's such balanced food. I always say that balanced food really, really helps. Start there first. Then, if you need to add hormone replacement therapies, that's up to you. But I would get a really good naturopathic doctor, a person who really understands the advancements of hormone knowledge now, not a like traditional doctor. So that's my 2 cents on that. And like I said, I'm going to go into more detail on all of this on the August 19th class. So I definitely think all of you listening should sign up for that. It's at 4 p.m. Eastern. The link's down below. I haven't gotten it. I think it arrives today. I got a juicer. Now, that might shock some of you because you might have thought already that I had a juicer. I'm going to grab water while we're talking. This is like girlfriend. This is my brain. I'm like walking. I'm opening doors. I'm moving around. I'm bumping into elk. This is me. So now I'm going to grab water. I had a juicer, but I hated it because it was so big and it was so hard to clean. Like, I don't like cleaning the pulp from the machine. So I got rid of it and I end up buying these expensive juices. I don't live in a town where I have juice down across the street. Like, I have to go into a city to get juice. So I wasn't really juicing. I was putting raw vegetables and fruits in a smoothie, but there's something about a really good juice that I just love. Like, if I drink a really good juice first thing in the morning, I feels like the biggest energy boost, more than coffee, but I just don't have access to it. So I just pulled the plug. I bought a juicer. Maybe I'll mention which one I did. I haven't tried it yet. So I'll wait. I'll give you an update. Stay tuned to the other podcast coming down. I'll give an update on this juicer. I spent quite a bit of money on it because it was compact. It said it doesn't have all the plastics. So it's actually, because you don't want a juicer with plastic because then you're putting microplastics because they're cold pressing that juice. You don't want microplastics in your body. So I wanted a really good quality juicer, one that had minimal waste, easy to clean. That was a must. Easy to clean and compact. Like, doesn't take up this enormous space in the kitchen and is like heavy to put up on the counter, right? Like, no, thank you. So I'll let you know if I like it. I literally ordered it on Amazon, but I did pay a hefty price. And I went and bought all these organic veggies today and fruits, and I'm so excited to try it. I might run down to the mailbox as soon as we get off this talk together, this little walk talk together. I'm juicing now, and my goal is to drink 1 juice a day. So I'm thinking, it reminds me when I was in Mexico and I was hanging out with this like indigenous tribe in Mexico, and every day the women would gather. It was the women who would gather to make tortillas. And they would make so many tortillas, and I remember just sitting with them, and I had an interpreter, and I was like, "Wait, so because it's hot there, and making tortillas is hot." And they're just sitting around this circle, and they're chatting, and they're making tortillas over the fire, and I'm like, this is the business mind in me. I'm like, I tell the women, I'm like, "Hey, you do this every single day." And they were like, they smiled and said yes, and I said, "Why don't you do 2 days a week and just batch them so that you had enough for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then do it Wednesday, then you'd have enough for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and maybe even Saturday and Sunday, and you just batch it and then just save the tortillas." And they laughed at me. They were like, "What would we do those other days?" And I was like, "Anything but make tortillas." And they just laughed at me. They were like, "This is what they like to do. They like to gather around as women and make tortillas, and it was their role." But I'm not gonna sit around and juice every single day. I think about them when I thought about what I'm gonna do about juicing. So I bought these glass bottles. I'm gonna juice about 3 times a week. So I'm only cleaning that machine 3 times a week, and I'll batch them so that I have juice for the days in between. So that's my plan moving right now, and I'm really excited about it. So a juice a day because I wanna get really high quality fruits and vegetables in my body every single day. And I actually really wanna start having a juice before my coffee every single day, more of an alkaline juice. And when I say alkaline juice, high pH levels, so vegetables, not so much fruit, because fruit's more acidic. So when your body is acidic, you actually are more prone to disease. When your body and your blood is more alkaline, you tend to be healthier. So vegetables are quite alkaline, so I'm gonna really do more vegetables in the morning. I know, guys, I'm going for it, and then I'll have my coffee because coffee's acidic. So really trying to keep my blood alkaline, plus it makes you look younger, and I'm all about that beauty hacks. I really am about drinking in my beauty products versus putting them on my face. As I'm getting older, I want to wear less makeup. I've always kind of been like that. I want less makeup. I want natural beauty. I want my eyes to be bright. I want my skin to feel good. And I know that what you eat really makes a big difference. The other thing I'm doing is I'm taking collagen. I do not skimp on collagen. I do collagen sometimes twice a day because I really believe in it. I sometimes do colostrum as well. I'll link the collagen I use. It's Earth Echoes, obviously. I do pretty much cacao bliss every single day. That also helps with balancing hormones and just regulating everything in your body. It's actually quite phenomenal, the health benefits of cacao. So I'll do cacao bliss every day. I'm trying to think, like, oh, probiotic, 100%. Get a really good probiotic. I always take a probiotic every single day. I already told you my hormone replacement protocol, but you need to do your own. So don't take what I told you because yours is going to be different. I think it's rare that I don't have to take estrogen. I know a lot of women who do. I have perfectly normal estrogen. So, and not everybody else does, or some people have perfectly normal progesterone and I didn't. So don't listen to me on that. I just take a good probiotic. I take a magnesium at night. I think a really good magnesium. I like Bioptimizers. They're no longer sponsoring me. I don't think they're sponsoring on this episode, but I do love Bioptimizers magnesium. And I do like Native Hydrates electrolytes, by the way, and I do have a discount for them. So go ahead and click in the show notes to Native Hydrate because those electrolytes I do like a lot. They're not loaded with excess sugar or salt and it flavors your water. So I do take Native Hydrate every single day. I have been taking a fiber supplement. So I've been taking this thing called Sun Fiber. It's just a clear, like it's like a white powder, but it dissolves. It doesn't get thick. And I put it in my water in the morning. So it's called Sun Fiber. I get it on Amazon, but I'm trying to increase my fiber. You can do psyllium husk, but I just don't like it when it gets all jelly. I don't like that texture in my mouth. So I really like Sun Fiber because it just dissolves. So I don't think I can link it because I don't have a sponsorship deal, but it's just called Sun Fiber and it's in a blue bottle. That's pretty much everything that I do. I do gua sha on my face every single day. That is a stress reliever. Also, it helps drain the lymphatic system, which is also helps with depuffing. So good for your body. I jump, so I bounce on the floor or I jump on a little mini trampoline every day because that also helps drain your lymphatic and that also helps with aging. I do Kegels every single day. I make sure I do 20 Kegels every day. So they say that your vagina, the health of your vagina equals to the health of your face and your throat. So the jowls, when they get saggy, it means the vagina is getting saggy. So there's a correlation with both. So I'm always doing my Kegels. I'm trying to think what else that you would wanna know. Well, here's the deal. I gave you a good start of what I do, and I'm gonna share all the rest on August 19th and more, and I'm gonna take you through a hypnosis that you can keep that's gonna really be transformative and helping you manage these symptoms to really start to own who you are, be who you are, and have some tools on how to just feel better at this time in your life, because this is the best time. This is when we get to claim who we are. We get to reclaim that girl, that soul expression that wants to be out in the world and literally let life just begin. I know so many people where life just got even better 50 plus. So here we are. Let's do this together. I'm wrapping you up in so much love. Thanks for joining me and I'm sending you a big, big hug.